Introduction: Thunderlips arrives. In Rocky III, 1982, Sylvester Stallone's third installment of the Rocky saga, Hulk Hogan makes a brief but unforgettable screen appearance as Thunderlips, billed as the ultimate male, casting Thunderlips, the right man for the role. Stallone's vision was classic David and Goliath Rocky versus a towering wrestling icon. Several big men were considered, but Hulk Hogan's physique, charisma, and wrestling credibility made him Stallone's top choice, even when others thought he was too large for the screen. Hogan, then wrestling under real name Terry Bollea, received the offer by Western Union and initially thought it was a prank. Once he realized the opportunity, it ignited his career beyond wrestling. 2. On-screen presence: Thunderlips entrance and match. Thunderlips makes a theatrical entrance, biceps kissed mid-ring, roaring into the arena. Thunderlips is here. He towers over Rocky, body slams him, and tosses him out of the ring, turning a staged charity bout into cinematic chaos. The match crescendos into a spectacle. Rocky discards his gloves to fight seriously, choking Thunderlips into submission. Despite temporary chaos, the bout ends in a draw, a nod to sportsmanship and entertainment. Behind the scenes, Hulk Hogan's raw power and safety. Hogan's in-ring strength was real, and it showed. Sylvester Stallone recounted being launched across the ring like an enraged bull, colliding painfully and fearing broken bones. Hogan didn't know his own strength, but always protected his co-stars, breaking falls to minimize injury. Despite the accidental chaos, Stallone described Hogan as a magician, precise, safe, and powerful on camera. Years later, he called Hogan's presence irreplaceable and the experience of working with him unforgettable. 4. Conflict at WWF: Hogan's career gamble. At the time, Vince McMahon Sr. maintained strict control in WWE, prohibiting wrestlers from making films. Hogan defied him. Reports suggest he was briefly dismissed for choosing Rocky III over company policy. Hogan later said, "If you're a wrestler, you're a wrestler. I guess I'll never work here again." Despite this risk, Hogan's instincts proved correct. Rocky III rocketed at the box office and introduced him to a global audience. 5. The Hulkamania spark: launching a legacy. Rocky III was a major cultural moment. With a budget of $17 million, it earned $270 million worldwide, becoming the highest-grossing Rocky film at the time. For Hogan, it offered a visual platform: 24-inch biceps, larger-than-life presence, wrestling moves on film, all before Hulkamania had a name. Thunderlips embodied Hogan's persona and foreshadowed his rise as a cultural icon. 6. Cultural impact: wrestling meets mainstream. The Thunderlips scene helped fuse wrestling spectacle with mainstream entertainment. Hollywood meets sports entertainment. For general audiences, Rocky vs. Thunderlips was crowd-pleasing spectacle. For wrestling fans, it validated the art and athleticism of professional wrestling on a major platform. In many ways, it set the stage for future wrestling-centric crossovers and elevated Hogan far beyond sports entertainment. 7. Stallone's tribute and Hogan's legacy. Decades later, in July 2025, after Hogan's passing at age 71, Stallone paid tribute. He remembered Hogan as a force, a glow, a magician in fight scenes. He shared stories of accidental injuries, Hogan's respectful professionalism, and his unmatched screen charisma. Stallone called Hogan irreplaceable and honored his legacy as a performer who transcended wrestling to become a worldwide entertainment figure. 8. Anecdotes and myths, industry memory, and Reddit lore. Fans recount that Hogan's Thunderlips wrestling belt prop became part of his personal collection. Some claim it's still displayed in Hogan-themed memorabilia shops. A scene breakdown. What made Thunderlips iconic? Entrance. Flashy cape, ring announcer's echo. Strut of confidence instantly set the tone. The match. A staged charity bout turned real fight. Rocky vs. Thunderlips highlights the drama. Comedy and surprise. Rocky tossed out of the ring. Paulie swinging chair signature Rocky humor. Resolution. A draw, a handshake, a photo op. High drama meets classic Rocky warmth. 10. Legacy. Aftermath. Hogan's continued entertainment presence. After Rocky III, Hogan leveraged that exposure into further acting opportunities. Films like No Holds Barred, 1989, Mr. Nanny, and TV appearances in Hogan Knows Best, Baywatch, and cameos in Gremlins 2 and Muppets from Space. Though his cinematic career never matched Hogan's wrestling fame, his role in Rocky III remained a highlight and a catalyst propelling wrestling into the cultural mainstream. Hulk Hogan's portrayal of Thunderlips in Rocky III was a defining moment, not just for his personal career, but for how wrestling merged with popular culture. It displayed his physical prowess, charisma, and star potential. It risked and almost lost his wrestling career, but ultimately cemented his legacy. It attracted international audiences and connected them emotionally to wrestling as theater. It provided one of the most memorable cinematic matchups between sport and spectacle. Rocky III's success helped make Hogan a household name beyond the ring, and Thunderlips the perfect launchpad into entertainment history. In 1982's Rocky III, Hulk Hogan made his cinematic debut as Thunderlips, a towering, flamboyant wrestler billed as the ultimate male. Though only on screen for a few minutes, the role left a lasting impact, not just on the Rocky franchise, but on Hogan's career and pop culture. Thunderlips was pure spectacle. His dramatic entrance, oversized personality, and larger-than-life wrestling moves turned a simple charity match against Rocky Balboa into a chaotic crowd-pleaser. Rocky gets tossed from the ring, Paulie throws a chair, and what was meant to be playful quickly becomes brutal, until Thunderlips shifts back into showman mode and poses for a photo with Rocky. Classic wrestling meets cinematic drama. Behind the scenes, Sylvester Stallone later revealed that filming with Hogan was no joke. Hogan's physicality was intense. He accidentally sent stuntmen to the hospital, and Stallone himself said working with Hogan felt like getting hit by a train. Still, Stallone praised Hogan as incredibly professional and magnetic on camera. At the time, Hogan was still rising in the wrestling world, and taking the role nearly cost him his career. Vince McMahon Sr. reportedly fired him for breaking company rules. But the gamble paid off. Rocky III introduced Hogan to millions of new fans, and within a year, Hulkamania was born. Thunderlips wasn't just a character, it was the spark that launched Hulk Hogan into global superstardom. The movie helped bridge the gap between pro wrestling and mainstream entertainment, and Hogan's performance proved he wasn't just a wrestler. He was a star. Even decades later, fans remember that one wild match, Rocky vs. Thunderlips. And for many, that's where the legend of Hulk Hogan truly began.